All right, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'd like to start this public hearing, February 26th, 2026, on the comprehensive plan, specifically related to some of the adjustments that we made to the plan after the vote in November. Hopefully you will understand exactly why we have to do this and what it involves. But first, I'd like to go around and just introduce the folks, have people introduce themselves.
I'm Matt Gilly, I'm the Select Board Liaison.
Heather Allen.
Al LeGros.
Bob Eaton.
Mary Ann Naif.
Margaret McIntyre, the town planner.
Okay, thank you very much. A little bit of background to start with. Last November, this plan was overwhelmingly endorsed by the town. And at the same time that that vote occurred, the plan was being reviewed by the state. It actually was given to the state a couple of weeks before we met in the town vote in November, but we did not hear back from the state until several weeks after the vote occurred. When we got their response, they felt that several adjustments needed to be made to the plan before they could fully endorse the plan as being complete and consistent with state guidelines. So we took that information. The task force met twice in January, and with the help of the town planner, the town submitted a response to the state's input on the 23rd of January. On the 29th of January, the state responded and said, if you implement these adjustments, we will declare the plan certified by the state, consistent, and complete. So we're here, first of all, to make sure that the public understands exactly what the state asked us to do, first of all. And then secondly, to explain the fact that because we are modifying a standing plan that was based on the November vote, we need to once again come to the town during town meeting, the next opportunity, to say, do you, the town, the public, approve of the adjustments that are made? If that occurs, we will have a comprehensive plan that's been approved by the town, certified by the state, and puts us in a great opportunity to move forward for the next decade or so in implementing the plan and even tapping into state funds for various reasons and so on. So it's important that the public understand what we've done and then to certify and endorse what we've done at the next town meeting. So, with that, what exactly did the state ask us to do? First of all, when we submitted our plan to the state, we were advised by our consultant at the time to append a letter to our plan explaining why we did not want a specific growth area in the town. And that letter included rationale for why we did not want the growth area. And basically it said the soil level is very shallow. We have a unique geography here, and we have no municipal water and sewer. So it did not make sense to the task force at that time to say, in this particular area, we want the majority of growth over the next decade to occur. Our view was that if growth were to occur and development was to take place, we wanted it distributed throughout the town, in a reasonable fashion. So that was submitted to the state as a letter with the plan. The state came back and said, okay, we understand, but we'd like you to put that actually in the plan. So, simple. We took the letter and we stuck it in the plan. I think it's on page 1-69.
Around 70, yeah.
Okay, so the letter that we put in initially as an addition is now in the plan in its entirety on page 1 starting on 1-69. Second thing the state wanted us to do was to provide or add more emphasis on how we were going to protect natural resources in the town. If you recall, that was a major thing that we were trying to push for. Preserve the rural character, preserve natural resources, and so on. So we added a number of sentences, if you will, to the plan, stating that we are strongly supporting our existing open space plan, and secondly, that any development decisions that are made need to consider regarding site planning and subdivision reviews and so on, need to consider natural resources as part of that effort. Now, I must say, as someone who has been on the planning board in the past, that is already part of the process. But we had to emphasize that in the plan and make sure that that was conveyed in a very direct manner. So we did that. The next thing that the state wanted us to do was to come up with a statement that unambiguously stated that our code enforcement officers would be qualified and certified by the state. They have been, but we did not necessarily specify that in the plan. So what we did was we added something to our implementation plan, the strategy that said our code enforcement people will be certified, must be certified as part of the process that we follow here in Harpswell. The final thing that the state asked us to do, major thing I should say, is to show how our town's capital investment plan will support future land use. The town does have a capital investment plan. It's fairly lengthy and extensive, covers a lot of different things. Essentially what we did was we put that capital investment plan, inserted it in the comprehensive plan verbatim, which covers everything from developments at Mitchell Field, enhancing our coastline to preserve against storms and so on, maintaining rural character, talking about roads, transportation, and maintaining a viable network in the town and so on. It covers a lot of different things, and that was the way we addressed that issue. Several other changes that were called for included sort of a word change, which was somewhat important, actually. When we referred to public utilities and septic in our original plan, they said, well, yeah, we understand that, but actually what you need to do is make it municipal utilities, because you have public utilities already in the plan that are tied to restaurants, motels, hotels, and so on. So we made that change, and that seemed to satisfy what the state was looking for. We also updated some data in the plan, primarily in the marine resources area, to bring it more up to date, because this plan has taken over 4 years to pull together. And so data has a tendency to kind of get stale after a while. So wherever we could, we updated the plan with current data. So as I said before, we made these changes, and the state came back and said, if you implement these adjustments and changes, you have a certified plan. It's going to be consistent and complete as far as the state is concerned. So why are we here? First of all, we want to make sure the public understands that. And secondly, leading up to our town meeting on March 14th, we are going to have to raise this as a voting issue to say, people of Harpswell, do you agree and understand these adjustments that are being made to the existing plan that you've already approved? So it's important for folks to come to the meeting on the 14th. Hopefully, they'll vote in favor of these adjustments. In my opinion, all they do is add information to the plan. They don't change the major emphasis of the plan. They don't change the vision statement of the plan. They don't change the priorities of the plan. They just add information and clarify certain things that the state felt needed to be clarified. So, with that, let me open it up to the task force. Any comments?
Good job.
Yeah.
Al, my only comment would be that all of this information and material is available on our website.
Good point.
Under,
Good point.
I want to say it's like government, and then committees, and then comp plan task force, and it's all there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I'd like to acknowledge publicly the effort that the task force has put in over the past 4.5 years. It's been a long haul. They put in a lot of time, effort, thought, listened to a lot of different perspectives and views. And I believe that what we have right now is a plan that will see us through at least the next decade, and a plan that will be certified, has been certified, if you will, by the state, that will allow us to tap into funding that might be available to do a variety of different things, and that will be recognized by the state as a viable and valuable plan that Harpswell can follow in the future. So, once again, I want to thank the task force for the effort that they put in, and I hope that at the March meeting, folks that come in will give a thumbs up to these adjustments that have been made. They don't change the plan that was voted on in November. They add to it. They provide additional information. They provide some clarity in certain areas, but certainly don't change the main focus on the plan. So, with that, those folks that are here from the public, do you have any questions or comments?
Oh, thank God.
Get to the hot seat there and identify yourself.
Take your time.
Bill Snellings. I understand that the public can go to the website. Will you be able to take time and do sort of what you just did to tell the public? Because if you're asking them to vote
Yeah.
yes or no, and they haven't read it, they may all say no.
It turns out that we prepared an article for the anchor that's going to be in the March anchor that basically summarizes what I've just said.
I guess my concern is that I'm seeing more and more people don't have the time to read. Will you have the chance to verbally say some of the things that you said?
Okay, so
I'll make sure we get the chance. I'll speak up. I'll be a board member there, and I'll certainly, when the article comes up,
And if-
make sure that that's conveyed.
if I have to wax poetic at the town meeting, I will.
All right, very good.
Thank you.
And congratulations.
Congratulations on your retirement from right? You stepped down?
I'm still on the steering.
We do have the handouts here by the door, though. Oh, you got some, okay. If you want to do some personal reading, again.
So again, this has been a long haul. It's an important step for the town. We haven't had a comprehensive plan since 2005. The other important thing I would say is that we don't want this to be a doorstop or put on the shelf. There's a need to have an implementation committee formed in the town. And the purpose of that committee is probably going to be thrashed out with the select board and town staff, but fundamentally, it's going to be a group that's going to make sure that this plan, at least they can track what's happening in all these areas, and if there's an issue or problem or a question that comes up, they can alert the staff, the select board, and say, hey, we need some more thought, we need some more emphasis on this particular area. But we want to continue to have momentum going into the future, and hopefully this implementation committee, yet to be formed, will provide that and lead the town in the next 10 years. Ma'am.
Now, I want to mention also that in the implementation piece, it assigns many of these to some of the working committees in town already.
Yep.
I happen to serve on the Conservation Commission, and we've started talking about some of the points that are in the comprehensive plan to start making that as part of our action items in the coming year.
Yeah, good point. I mean, I think a lot of the town committees are already working on a number of these things, whether they realize it or not.
True.
They're working on a number of these things. It's just a matter of making sure that the community at large, select boards kept advised, and we can kind of track progress as we go forward in the future. Anything?
I think just to elaborate on that point, the implementation of this plan is going to rest with the town committees, and I think the implementation committee job is to ride herd on them.
Yeah.
Politely say, have you met, you're responsible for section
Yeah.
so-and-so, and sort of rip it up and says, that's your section, and the next, and so on. And then just to monitor and make sure that people are working on it, and I assume make an annual report.
Yeah, absolutely.
To the town meeting.
I think the implementation committee at a minimum needs to brief the select board a few times a year. You know, whatever they determine is appropriate. They also need to put together an annual report input to say, here's the progress that that's being made. Those steps seem like straightforward things, but in reality, they were not done after the last comprehensive plan, and therefore, things kind of petered out over time. Things like that happen. But if we have sort of a regular process that this committee can follow, keeping the select board advised, keeping the public advised, that's going to sustain this effort. Anything else? All right.
Make it worthwhile for us to come in.
It's Bill Snellings.
Yeah.
How do we go about taking care of something that hopefully we don't have to wait for the next comprehensive plan? But Harpswell Aging at Home and Harpswell Heritage Land Trust have run out of places to have, and actually, you guys, or the town, has run out of places to have large meetings. The best I've heard is that some people need to start planting some seeds for the new fire department that's going to be built that may be able to have some way of having a meeting room with parking. Do you have any suggestions other than waiting for the next comprehensive plan?
Well, as part of this current plan, we've established, or at least put down in writing, that the town, it would be nice for the town to have a place for all age groups to meet. Now, obviously, there are money issues involved, and I'm going to look to my select board liaison I mean, those guys are gonna have to wrestle with that. But I think we've made it clear as part of our vision that we want the town to be a place that all age groups can meet and thrive. And I think personally, if things fall into place, having a place where folks can meet, you know, in February or not only July under the stars at the Mitchell Field, but that would be super. But those are financial issues that need to be thrashed out, and other than just saying this would be a nice thing for the town to have, that's about as far as we've gone in the plan.
Well, the good news is that some of these groups are really doing a great job to bring together the community.
Yeah,
Unfortunately, we either have a safety issue in parking. Unfortunately, I mean, parking at the schoolhouse on Orr's Island is less than probably 100 yards from where a lady was killed.
yeah,
So walking on 24 is pretty dangerous,
Yeah.
especially right now with snow.
yeah.
But
right.
anyway, we all have, it's great that we're bringing in this many people. We just need to think for the future. And I hope it's not the next comprehensive
I
plan.
agree.
Thank you.
Thank you, appreciate it. Anything else? Any other comments, questions? Well, this could be an all-time record for the task force. 20 minutes, less than 20 minutes.
Quick, too.
I just want to thank everybody for their involvement, their effort, and hopefully we have something that will be meaningful to the town for the next 10 years at least. Seeing no other public that wants to comment, or no one on the task force?
Yeah, hold down that troublemaker.
Meeting adjourned. Thank you.